I'm going to use a little of the yellow ochre fluid acrylic to lay the background color. And here I have another watercolor. I don't use watercolor pencils much. I do like to use the gray wash pencils. Derwent has like 3 grades: light wash, medium, and dark, graphite. But so that I don't struggle as much as I did when I was tired doing the small piece I showed you earlier, I am going to lay a little bit of this watercolor pencil on first.
And is that typically how you handle them and use them from the side like that?
Yeah. Unless it's in a tight corner.
And do you worry about getting it onto the black ink or not?
No. Most of it, now especially this, it's watercolor. It can be washed off, and not much shows on the black ink once it's sprayed that I've found. But then again, I don't worry because I kind of lightly sand out areas and put light coats of any colors I've used in the piece into the background.
And what are you using for sanding? When you refer to sanding, actual sandpaper or fiberglass brush?
I have no, I've been afraid to use fiberglass brush. It's one of my phobias. I have many. Find the big one to show you. And sandpaper, because I have very arthritic knuckles, I have a hard time holding on to. So when I got, guess where, folks? Hobby Lobby. It's this aluminum oxide sanding block. Sponge in the middle. You can wash it. It has, you get different grades. This one has fine grade, fine on one side, medium on the other. And I never remember which is which, so I just vary. The corners stay sharp so I can get in small areas. And I chop it up, and I have a small piece here that is mostly what I use, complete with puppy bites and cat hair, which adds nice texture. Okay.
Can I see your sanding block here?
This is the actual block.
I just want the package.
Package.
You can also get them at the hardware store.
I assumed you could, and I can't tell you where we found it at Hobby Lobby, but
I believe it is in the train section, like they have for section.
in the models, yeah, that would make sense along with the,
Sanding.
yeah, along with the little bottles of enamel paint and stuff. Okay. Lately, for some reason, maybe it's because so happens most of my friends in Houston are Asian or just tend to be darker skinned. My people, I leave a lot more dark in the skin. And I find that with Scratchboard, it's such a dramatic medium anyway that I can really exaggerate colors and seem to get by with it. Nobody's called me on it yet. I mean, I'll throw blues and purples in the skin. Nobody said, where did you get that? We just say, how did you do it? And I'll say, oh, I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That was yellow ochre, right?
This is raw sienna. It's just, I think, I may be wrong. I think it's more of a, I think it's a lighter yellow than the yellow ochre. I sound real definite about things like that, but she was the art teacher in the family, and I always ask her. I say, okay, PY35, what color of yellow is that? And she'll tell me.
Every family needs someone like
Every artist needs another artist in the family who's an art teacher. Then,
And Terry, for your fairies and stuff, obviously, you're not working from a reference photo, because they're kind of hard to photograph.
yeah, right.
So you do a lot of this out of your head.
Not if you're sober. I mean, if you're sober, they're difficult.
You
Yeah.
do a lot of the poses just from your head, or you work from photos of people in some way?
Okay, these I did out of my head about, wait, that is taking off the black ink. That's cool. I've got to remember that. Watercolor pencil helps remove black ink. When I was young and in a very bad place in my life, I did a series of these. And recently, because summertime, I have no time off from work. So this is the fact I could come here was amazing. And I took a lot of my old prints that I had made over 30 years ago and said, that's out of proportion, and I redid them and used some of those patterns. The small ones are due to that website, it was on Wet Canvas, Pose Maniac.
Yeah,
You
it was
know?
maniacs.com.
Oh, which is wonderful. So I kind of figured the basic pose I wanted and hung in there until I found something that was close to it. And when I download that and combine the two. And I think that site is the most artist-friendly thing around. For somebody, I have a big weakness with human anatomy. And I didn't realize that until recently. So I've gone to them a lot. Now that this part up here is fairly dry, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre and keep it very thin.
And what is your favorite size of board to work on?
It has changed until when I started this piece, the board seemed huge. And now that I'm starting working on 16 by 20, this 11 by 14 seems, what's this, a 9 by 12?
9 by 12, I believe.
Oh, 9 by 12? Okay. Seems tiny. Most of my work's been done on 5 by 7s. Because like most people, I was scared to spend the money and then experiment on larger boards. But I'm not afraid to do that anymore because I found almost any mistake can be corrected in some way. And Harold even today taught us how to correct when you gouge the clay down to the backing. Wow. So,
I learned from necessity.
yeah. So I was afraid to use anything more than a 5. I'm a very fearful person when it comes to art, to materials. But once I learned that if nothing else, I can ink the sucker over and save it, I'm going bigger and bigger.